Hey, Bass College fans. Here we are with Keith Combs after day 2 of the West Point tournament here. I want to ask you a few questions. How did today go, man? What'd you catch?
I had 7-4 today. I mean, that's not even half of what I had yesterday. But it was yesterday. I know I was real fortunate to get some quality bites. I never had one of those kind of bites today, and that's what it's going to take here. Is I don't think it's the kind of place where a guy's going to consistently go out and catch those 3 to 4 pound fish. 5 of them in a day, a couple of them maybe, or you get one of those 6 or 7s, and I mean that opens up a lot of doors for you. I didn't get one of those kind of bites today, but I did catch a lot more fish today. I feel like I'm maybe locking into the fish a little bit more. Yesterday, I was pretty much scrambling around, and I ended up catching them. So as a whole, it was a decent day. I survived the day. I'm still going to be, in the top 10 for sure, within striking distance. Go out and catch another, big one tomorrow, and things will change in a big way.
This lake's got them, I'll tell you. It's a grind this time of year. I live not far from here, and it's like that.
It is.
Want to know, how was your practice? Is it different from what you've experienced so far?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fishing and the weights?
I had a pretty tough practice, but I was catching a lot. I still was catching like 11 to 13 a day. That led me to believe I could consistently catch that kind of weight. And, yesterday at 1 o'clock, I hadn't caught any fish, so things had definitely drastically changed. I had an offshore thing going for some bigger spots. I mean, some spots that were in the 2.5 pound class. That has totally, gone away. The largemouth deal, if the sun will come out, I think we'd see a lot more fish. I mean, I need to see the fish. And with these kind of clouds and stuff, I know I'm passing by a lot of them, or I'm getting on top of them and they're spooking. So if the sun would shine, I don't think it's going to, that would open up a new deal for me.
What's the water temperature out there?
It's ranging from starting in the morning 67, 68 degrees, and it's warming all the way up to 71 even on a cloudy day. So the second day of practice, when it really got sunny and warmed up to the mid 70s, 74, 76 degrees, things started happening in a big way. I started to see big ones everywhere. So they're here. Just got to do things perfect to catch them.
Now, with this last full moon, are you willing to say if you're seeing any on bed, how's that's going? And more of a post-spawn type bite, are you willing to say?
My fish are around beds. They're not necessarily, yesterday I caught one off a bed. Today I caught one that I know that was on a bed. The rest of the fish, they're around them. And when they're just around the bed, they're not locked onto it, guarding fry. So they're definitely in the spawn phase, but they're not necessarily locked on a bed. Those make for some pretty tough fish to catch. But I feel if I stay in the areas that's got those fish, sooner or later I'm going to get another big one.
That leads to the next question. The weather's going to change tomorrow. You're going to see some wind, some rain. I got a feeling if it's not a cold rain, I think it might help the bite tomorrow. What are your thoughts?
I sure hope it does. I don't really know why this lake's in such a funk right now, why it's fishing so tough, so it's hard to say what's going to make things change. I don't anticipate it to change much. Guys will still get some big bites, and that'll shake up the leaderboard, but I think the thing that would change the most is if we got some sun, which we're not going to, or we had extremely warm weather at night. Those would be the things that would spike the bite. But the rain, cold rain, wind, I don't think so.
We got one last question to finish up with you, Keith, so you can get going with the rest of your day. Immediate post-spawn tips. What do you have to say? What do you start looking for?
Well, generally, after the spawn, I start looking for a shad spawn. And there is a shad spawn going on this lake, but the fish are with a high water, and I think a lot of fish are still trying to spawn, but they're not relating to the shad spawn. So that would be my first go-to, is go look for early morning shad spawn and fish for those fish. If that's not working like what we have here at West Point, I would still fish for fish that are spawning, but not necessarily, locked on beds. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to approach those fish very kind of quietly, sneak into the areas, use more finesse tactics, wacky worm. I like to throw just a Strike King 7-inch finesse worm on a wacky rig and just dead stick it around. Those fish will still be in those same bedding areas, not on beds, but just kind of lolling around. You can still catch the fish doing that.
All right, we want to thank you for sitting down here or standing here and talking to us. Hope you have a good day tomorrow and catch up, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Have a good day tomorrow.
Thanks.